Okay, we're back on the show, and now we're joined by Ron Lewis Smith II. How are you today, Ron?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, everybody?
Doing great. It's a pleasure to connect with you. We've been listening to that KC and the Sunshine Band music forever, and nice to see a new generation out there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sure. Give us a little background, both where you grew up in, and tell us about your father. His career in music, and when he was in the Sunshine Band.
Okay, my name is Ron Lewis Smith II. As we all know, I am the Prince of Sunshine. My father and my uncle are the original members of KC and the Sunshine Band since the beginning of the band, even when it was called the Ocean Liner Band. They changed the name to KC and the Junkanoo Sunshine Band, and then to KC and the Sunshine Band. My family has really been involved into the whole creation and the whole sound and everything from day one, before the first big hit record of Rocky Baby and every last type of things. My uncle is playing guitar on every last song that ever was recorded by KC and the Sunshine Band, George McCrae, Betty Wright, basically everything that was down there at TK Records. You can hear my uncle Jerome Smith playing guitar on everything that you hear down there when you look at the credits. My father was the leader of the horn section of KC and the Sunshine Band, sure, and the choreographer. So when you see all the high-powered choreographer movements and things that was going on stage, you see my father jumping up and down, dancing and doing flips and all kind of stuff. He was the one who put all those things and did all those things at that time. So basically, we are one big family, and it's just a wonderful thing. I mean, I was born in 1978, and my father wrote his big disco record called Spank, and it's like basically one of the biggest dance records in house and dance music since been played and put in different movies, and from Studio 54 to Here Comes the Boom. It's very huge overseas, and everybody really know about this record all around the world.
Well, that's great. So you were born right in the era when a lot of this music was popular. What were your first recollections of music, and when did you start to get that fever to start to make music yourself?
Well, the first time I ever stepped into the studio, I was 5 years old. My father was recording one of his big records that he was doing, and I was like, I wanted to get inside the studio and be there with my dad. So I was like how you say, like a child be cranky. I was like, let me in. So my father let me into the studio, and the engineer was him and the engineer was mixing a song and stuff, and I grabbed the microphone, and when I grabbed the microphone, I started singing a song that just came out of my head, just right on spot. And my father was like, oh, the boy got a hit there, So that was the first time I actually was in the studio. But what happened was that when I was in college, I came home around the summer break. I was like 21 years old, and I brought my father a CD with some songs on it, and I let him listen to it. And he didn't take me seriously at first. He was like, yeah, and I had to go back to college again for the fall classes, and I came back with some more songs, and he still didn't take me seriously. And I came back with one more song after that next break, and then he said to me, he was like, so you really want to do this? You really want to do this? So I said, yes, I really want to do this. Well, I came here and let you listen to my stuff. And he told me, he said, well, I will teach you everything that I know, and you just have to promise me that you're going to learn the business. And I said to myself, I said, yes, Dad, I will promise you that I will learn the business. So that's what I did. So I said, cool, teach me everything that you know. He said, if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. So I said, what? That's it? And he said, yes. So that was the whole thing. I kept that to my heart. If it doesn't feel good, and don't do it. And that's what I do today when creating my music. Well, if it doesn't feel good, I'll stop a whole session and be like, hell, I'm not doing this. This is not feeling good to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, so many young kids look at the music business or fame and see, just the material side. They see the cars or the riches or the jewelry or the mansions, and they think that's what it's about. It's a shortcut to live a charmed life. But like you say, your father instilled in you that it's really about the passion. It's about the feeling you get. And all that other stuff can come and go. But if you're happy with, what you're doing, that's the most important thing.
Exactly. I mean, all those things that people see on the outside, those things wasn't really something that my family really was concerned about. I mean, like I say, as a young kid going inside the house looking at Grammy Awards and American Music Awards and platinum plaques and stuff, these was the norm to me, and I didn't really understand what they really meant because I was this young. But as I got older and I looked at it and I said, well, dang, these things are very special to say. These things I've been holding on all my life and saying this is an award, but I didn't know that this is an award from accomplishment of being a great musician and songwriters and producers to get these type of awards. Those type of fame and like you say, fortunes that a lot of people look at, those wasn't the concern of my family. They were more concerned of creating masterpieces that last the test of time and people enjoyed it and have a good time from the energy that was being created at that time.
Yeah, a lot of people look back on the disco scene and they talk about the drugs or the, promiscuity or whatever from that era. But, when you really look at those songs, give people a great feeling, and they've lasted all these decades since. That's the way I like it, or Get Down Tonight. So many of those songs are instilled in us, and you can only imagine the millions of people that have had a good time dancing to those songs all over the world, no matter what nationality or ethnicity they are. And I think certainly with the Sunshine Band, they really crossed over a lot of racial lines. The band was always black and white and Latino, and I'm sure there was other mixes in there, and so it really broke a lot of ground, and that's what the music means to us.
Well, really and truly, I think I want to say this because I think there was one thing that was said to when we grew up is that we was the first interracial band at that time. So I really want to look it up. I remember they told me that, but I think that is true, that we was the first interracial band. Because see, the thing is that the sound of Sunshine is for everybody. We don't discriminate anybody on our music. We want everyone to love our music, have a good time, enjoy the feeling, and just have a good time and party. Because in this world, we say to ourselves is that worrying about problems and worrying about things is too much a waste of time. Why don't you just forget about everything and just have a good time and party? That's the main thing about the sound of Sunshine.
Well, with so many, hard times or challenges in the world or the politics and everything we go through, music is one thing that can really make people feel good and, lighten their load, so to speak, kind of escape their everyday problems and just have a good time, even for the moment.
Yes, and that was the main thing that my foundation for this album, The Prince of Sunshine. I said to myself is that I really felt that this world had a lot of darkness and people needed some type of shine, and I wanted to bring nothing but happiness and joy and sunshine to all the fans and listeners who listen to the project. And that's why when you listen to the songs and the stuff that I created on this album, it's very high energy, calls you to sing and calls you to dance and just have a great feeling.
Yeah, another great thing about the run the Sunshine Band had was this was an indie label. TK Productions was a small indie label out of Florida that really competed with the majors, with the amount of hits and the development of a roster of artists. And, their legacy is well grounded in the whole independent scene that's blossoming today with so much of the consolidation of the big record companies and more of independent artists, independent labels really carrying the future of music. So TK was certainly a legacy that we can all be inspired by.
Oh, yes, Mr. Henry Stone was a brilliant genius, man. And we had a movie just came out earlier this year that really talked about that whole inspiration and story of how he gave my family a chance to be able to do the things that they need to do and become the fame that they are. He believed in Casey, and Casey said he's going to take his band with him, and next thing you know, we became Casey and the Sunshine Band. So that whole story is just one remarkable thing. This guy Henry Stone, he can just walk into a place and see a black group and believe in them and say, hey, you know what? I'll cut a record on you and let's put it out. And he he was just a remarkable guy and stuff like that. And I'm glad that before he passed away, I had a chance to meet him at the reunion and stuff like that, and say thank you on behalf of my family.
And what's the name of that documentary?
It's called The Record Man.
We can't
wait
to see that. Now,
with
your new record, The Prince of Sunshine, I see you even have a remix of Can't Let Go, your song with the originator of the remix, Tom Moulton. We interviewed Tom recently, all about the Motown box set. And tell us how you connected with Tom and what that means to you to have a remix with the guy who was in there pioneering a lot of this music.
Tom Moulton he called me and he said to me that, Ron, Love Talk and Can't Let Go are two of the biggest records on your album, and I want to remix it. And I said, go right ahead and do what you need to do, Mr. Moulton. It's an honor to be able to even talk to you and say that you want to go ahead and remix and do your thing, your magic that you do. Mr. Tom Moulton, as you can say, is the inventor of the 12-inch remix. He is the club man who invented for all the DJs to play in the club. I mean, from the TSOP to the Philly Sound to all the big names from the Shy Lights to the Tramps. He is the man who stretched out the song to keep everyone boogieing in the clubs and the discotheque. And it's a real good honor for him to want to mix the songs that is on the Prince of Sunshine, and so that all the fans and everyone around the world can hear this great music.
Well, that's an exciting thing to have. Tell us about some of the other songs that you're most excited about, on the new album, and you want to share with the people.
Well, okay. Well, the thing is that we start off with Spank. Like we say, Spank is, we already know that Spank is one of the biggest disco dance records of all time. Everyone knows this record. It's been sampled so many times by many different artists and many different DJs inside their songs and stuff, and it's been placed in many movies. And it's just a remarkable thing. But when I took a take on it, I wanted to put my fingerprint on this record because it's really the foundation of my family. And it's really the appeal from the different people from around the world. They really love it. And it's just being added to a lot of different radio stations around the world, top 40 stations, BBC stations, with Switzerland and Australia. I get a lot of updates from radio presenters who tell me these different stations that done added Spank onto their playlists and stuff like that. The next one is Party Music. Party Music is a straight all-out Sunshine Band record. You can hear the horns live up front, blowing real hard. The excitement and the energy of saying, turn the music up. It's just straight hardcore Sunshine sound type music. The next one we have is Can't Let Go. Can't Let Go is another straight disco dance type vibe with the rhythm and the groove just hitting you where you can't let go to the rhythms of the Junkanoo style Sunshine energy that I bring to that whole record. The next one is the soul R&B type record, Love Talk. As soon as you hear it, it's straight hot butter type soul, Sunshine sound soul that I'm giving you, where it just really just hits your heart and you just listen to the whole record. The next one is Come On and Do It. Come On and Do It is another soul type R&B type of record that I put a pop little feel to it that you get the people will love. The next one is Real Good Time. Real Good Time is another Sunshine sound type record that'll hit you real hard, where I'm just saying to everyone is forget about your problems. Let's have a real good time. Listen to the band. The next one is Don't Hold Back. Don't Hold Back is another classic, iconic type of record. A lot of people tell me that you can hear that whole sound with the high energy of the horns hitting you right up front, because that was our signature. Our signature was basically that horn section hitting you hard with the rhythm section in the back with the bass hitting you hard and the percussion. That's what our signature Junkanoo Bahamian dance music that we gave to the whole entire world. So that's our signature sound, and you hear it throughout this whole entire album. And then we have Party Freaks. I forgot to say that one. Party Freaks is another iconic dance record coming out of the vaults that I brought back to the world so they can listen to it and stuff like that. So really and truly, this whole entire project is a high energy dance project. It's a dance project filled with some R&B, some soul, some live horns. It's all live musicians. I'm really thankful for the musicians that played on the tracks and that played in the studio. We went all the way live, iconic 70s type sound, the strings, the xylophones, the vibes, everything was wonderful. I really wanted to give the fans and the listeners that same type of energy and same type of creation that they're used to having from the 70s and along, because I wanted the music to last and last and last and last. And I was really proving myself as the prince to be able to say that I can take this throne, take this chosen position to be able to keep this music going on and on and on forever.
Well, your music definitely brings us back to that, golden era when, we really had so much, love for the music and couldn't wait to get down to the record store and find out what's new and go out to the shows and discover new music and go out to the clubs and really have a good time. There was it seemed like a simpler time, and people were really, really receptive, about music. One concern we have is, the younger generations that are out there, stealing music and downloading for free, and they seem to have less value, on music, and we know how important music is to make that balance in the world and bring people together and break those, racial barriers, and certainly, have people enjoy themselves and, open up that creativity, when they take arts from the schools and don't allow the younger generations to make music. We know we're losing something very, very important, and, we still value the music, but, we're concerned about the younger generations, that they don't value, music as much. What message would you like to give to the younger generations to empower them, with the music and, let them know, what this can do, as a positive force in their life?
Well, one of the main things that we need to understand is that music is a powerful entity. By putting positive energy through the music, we can do a lot of things. We can heal, we can inspire, we can bring forth a lot of things through creation. That's why, as a producer and a songwriter, I say to myself is that I am creating something that's filled up with so much energy for another person to be able to bring into their life, to feel what I am putting inside them. So that's why I am really fine-tuning the way the sounds and the frequencies and everything that is coming out through the whole process, so that the listener can be able to understand what I'm giving them. So what I would tell the young people is that forget about all your worries. Forget about all the things that you want to do in life, and just say, you know what? Enjoy the moment. Enjoy what you're receiving at that time, because you never know. Life is too short, and you don't know what's going on. You can be here today, or you can be here and be gone tomorrow. So just enjoy life. Enjoy life. And just say to yourself that, hey, whatever comes, bring it, That's the most important thing I say to myself. But one thing what you were saying earlier about the value of music. Music right now is valuable. But the thing is that we can't stop people from, when you say downloading illegally and stuff like that. I look at it like this. You love the album so much, you did it and got it for whatever way that you do it. And I'm appreciative to that situation, because you like what I created and you like the feel that I was giving to you. And maybe, when you see me at a show, at a concert, you'll come out and see that presenter and that creator who created that song that you love so much and stuff like that. But, hey, that's just the way the music business is, and I accept it all,
Sure. And any other advice you give to young creative people? Because I know, again, with the technology, a lot of younger generations just want to kind of point and click and, not pay the dues, and certainly the legacy of your father and your family and what you grew up respecting, people that poured their lives and decades into mastering their instruments and perfecting their songwriting craft. What advice do you have to the young songwriters, the young musicians that really want to do music, but, they kind of use technology maybe as a shortcut? What do you need to instill in them to know, the true path of artistry?
Well, let's get into that when you say the true path of artistry. artistry is whatever you creating for that person who is visualizing to give it that interpretation of saying what it actually is. Because as an artist, you can be saying to yourself that you're creating something a certain way, but some other person might look at what you created and give their own perspective of what it exactly is. So the thing is that I really do not classify another individual because they're using some other type of source to make whatever type of sound quality that they're using. Because sometimes you can go into the studio and use a pencil and a click just to make something to be a sound and use that as an inspiration. So what I would say is that whatever you're doing, and if it's creating something positive and you see the reaction of the people who are actually listening to what you're creating and it's something good, keep on doing it. But me, coming from a legendary family and knowing that it's a certain type of quality and a certain type of things that they've done that I could not bring something to the table that was not up to par for the things that was already set up for me. So it's a certain type of feel that I do for the music that I create, that I use certain things that I wanted to use. I mean, a lot of people would say, well, why would you use live strings and 1970 keyboards and stuff like that? Because it's a certain sound that I wanted for the production for the project that I was creating. Another individual might not use those things, but I say if you're getting the positive energy out of what you're creating and the reaction from the people who you are giving it to, then go right ahead. That's my whole answer to that situation.
Well, Ron, it's been a real pleasure. We're definitely going to spread the word on the album, The Princess Sunshine. Hope to see you out here in California spreading that live music. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much for the time and the interview. And like I said, it's always a good day, and I love California, and I can't wait to be over there too. We have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and it's just a lovely, lovely, lovely city.
Well, thanks so much, Ron. I'll send you some links, and can't wait to spread the news and shake your hand when you're out here.
Thank you.